welcome to Tabletop Tap Room. I'm Tom, aka Gerion, your host. Today we've got a review. Now, I'm a very lucky man. Good wife is into role-playing games, and so she very much aids and abets me in my hobbies. And Valentine's Day is coming up, and I just thought she loves Harry Potter. Like, she really loves Harry Potter. So I just thought, I've been hearing about this Strixhaven is, Harry Potter with the serial numbers filed off. And I thought, oh, let me run a copy of that down. And, we'll do a D&D game, be D&D and Harry Potter, two things she loves. And I thought, oh, this will be fantastic. So I start reading the Strixhaven Curriculum of Chaos. And my first thought was, we're studying chaos. That just seems odd, but it's okay. So the first impression was Curriculum of Chaos. That seems odd, but then I get to this page and we have a mission statement. And I like mission statements. The mission of Strixhaven University is to discover and preserve magical knowledge, to disseminate that knowledge from one generation to the next, to promote free and open study of magic in all its forms, and to enhance the lives of people throughout the world through the use of magic. That sounds pretty good. The next highlighted chapter here, verse here is, so the next highlighted passage here, you can also partake in a vibrant campus life with plenty of clubs and other activities. You might even play on one of the Strixhaven prestigious Mage Tower teams and bask in the adoration of your cheering crowds. So this verse, this passage here really sets the tone for this really is going to deliver Harry Potter with serial numbers filed off in a D&D format. So cool. We get down to the overall campaign arc, as well as special rules for aspects of campus life, exams, relationships, extracurricular, and jobs. And right away, I start looking at this and going, we're actually going to play out exams, relationships, and extracurricular activities and jobs. This is them doubling down. This is absolutely going to be Harry Potter, except I don't remember Harry Potter ever having a job. Yeah, but that definitely does happen in the typical college experience. I remember being in college with a job. I remember working my butt off. So this is starting to be a red flag to me that we're going to play out relationships and extracurriculars and jobs. There was the beginning of the red flags right there. We come down to Strixhaven as a university. Even as they get caught up in the adventures, the characters have to continue going to class, doing homework, studying exams. Optional rules in Chapter 3 reinforce the importance of study and adventures. During their adventures, the threat of detention or even expulsion might hang over their head. This was the red flag number 2. Because with death saves being a part of 5e, nobody dies. So here your biggest threat hanging over your head is, I have to chuckle, detention. Or worse, you're going to be expelled. I've actually been expelled from college. So, you survive. But apparently that is the worst threat, since death saves are a thing, and you really can't be killed. Study at Strixhaven is about study at Strixhaven isn't about learning to be a wizard, but about learning to be a historian and an artist and an orator and a scientist or some other profession while using magic to enhance one's studies. This was a big red flag. And I'm like, excuse me? The absolute quintessential quote of Harry Potter is that moment when Hagrid goes, "You're a wizard, Harry." I mean, that's it. That is the mission statement of the Harry Potter movies. And that's the first red flag that tells me that I think maybe Wizards of the Coast might have missed a beat on this one. I could be wrong. Wow, you're not. This is not about being a wizard. It's about being an artist or a historian or what about an engineer? But it's all about, I don't know. So scrolling down through the rule book, we're virtually skipping chapter 2, getting down to chapter 3 here. And I want to stomp on this piece of artwork because this is actually one of my favorite. I love this perspective shot here. This is fantastic. Some of the artwork in this book is really good, and some of it leaves me ho-hum. But this is one of the better pieces here. This group of students preparing to descend into a bottomless pit. This is a great perspective shot with them with the rope, and they're arranged on the cliff. The Owlin, it's one of the new player races, is flying. That is a fantastic picture, and I really like it. So, but the rest of the art in here, a lot of the other art in here just kind of leaves me kind of ho-hum. So there's a new character race. It's another creature. It's the Owlin. And, I'm sure there's a certain appeal to playing, Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, playing the little animal creatures. It seems like every D&D product coming out has a new one. We get the Owlin because they're wise. This is a school, so I guess that was, I see what they did there, kind of. So Owlin's the new player character race. Magic items. Let's talk about the magic items. So magic items. Bottle of boundless coffee. Let me read this. This metal bottle carries delicious warm coffee. The bottle comes with a stopper, which is attached to the bottle by a little chain. Even when open, the bottle won't accept any liquid other than the coffee it produces. So you can pour coffee into it. The coffee inside always stays comfortably warm, and none of the heat can be felt through the bottle. Each time you drink coffee, roll a d20. On a 1, the bottle refuses to dispense coffee for the next hour. This is like the soup Nazi. No coffee for you. If you pour coffee from the bottle rather than drinking from it, the coffee vanishes the moment it leaves the bottle. This is like the stupidest magic item I've ever read. So, and then it was topped by the cuddly Strixhaven mascot. Representing one of the mascots of Strixhaven, this soft, tiny, magical toy is perfect for cuddling. My barbarian likes to cuddle. If you press it to your arm, shoulder, or leg as an action, the toy stays attached there for 1 hour until you use an action to remove it. The toy can be used to fight off fear. When you make a saving throw to avoid or end the frightened condition on yourself, you can give yourself an advantage on the roll if the toy is on your person. You must decide to do so before rolling. If the save succeeds, you can use the toy. You can't use the toy in this way again until you have finished the long rest. So the cuddly Strixhaven mascot. Wow. And I'm starting at this point, the red flags are flying, and I'm starting to go, if this was D&D when I was 11 years old, I would have never played this. So here we have another Owlin, big eyes and looking surprised. Another student here looking surprised. This is not a bad piece of art. So we have a whole set of rules for relationships. You will develop relationships with the NPCs. They will be your friend. They will be your beloved. They will be your rival. You have relationship dice that come into play. And at any point you can dump a friend. And so that brings in drama. There's no advantage to dumping a friend because you lose those relationship dice. So I don't know why you would have it other than you just want to have drama. You just want to be a drama queen. I don't see the point. I just don't see the point. But we have relationships, student dice, relationship dice. Now we get into the extracurriculars. None of these extracurriculars really sound super interesting. I mean, we have the Dead Languages Society, the Distinguished Society of Fine Artists, the Dragon Chess Club, live action. So they LARP. You have LARPing on campus, live action role playing guild, Mage Tower, Cheer Squad. I mean, these are so damn vanilla as to be like, what? But don't worry, it doesn't. You also have a job, and you can work in the biblioplex as a book clerk or a bookshelver. You could work Bows End Tavern as an assistant manager or cleanup crew. Campus grounds as a graffiti eraser or lawn manicurist or litter retriever. You can work at the campus magic labs as cleanup crew member. You can work in the dormitories as cleanup crew member. You can work at the Fire Jolt Cafe as a barista or cleanup crew member. Intramural fields, you can work as a cleanup crew member. And Strixhaven Performing Arts Society, you guessed it, you can work as a cleanup crew member. Oh, wait, I left out Strixhaven Stadium, cleanup crew member. I'm like, what? I'm so excited. I got a job as a cleanup crew member. And so here's how jobs work. You get paid at the start of the week before you work. You get paid 5 gold. So you get paid 5 gold. You can quit anytime during the week. You don't stop getting paid until the end of the week. So you get paid before you work. I'm like, excuse me? That's dumb. That's just dumb. Also on the 5 gold, just parsing out this economy, those magic items that we read the description of, they were 100 gold. So you'd have to work all year long, save your money just to, you're going to have to work 20 weeks just to pay for one of those magic items. So the economy doesn't make a lot of sense to me, unless you're finding a lot of gold on the adventures. And next we have exams. So there are rules for exams, pulling an all-nighter. I remember doing these in college. Not fun. Studying together never worked well for me. And then you had skipping studying. Yeah, that happened. It was called going to work. And there's a testing phase, and you roll 2d20s, and if you pass both of them, you've aced the test. If you pass one and fail one, you have passed the test, and if you fail both, you failed the test. There's rules for cheating and failed exams, student dice. So then we're going to get down here into these are some of the NPC students that you can have as a beloved or as a bestie. So there are all sorts, all sorts of personalities worked in here. So this is, I love that they have the character portraits, with all these NPCs. These are fellow students. None of the professors are presented with a portrait. So the professors don't really matter. It's your primary relationships are your fellow students, which I get to a certain degree, but I think I would have liked to have some portraits of the professors. Yeah. So then we get down to the first adventure, and I've had a lot of red flags, and I'm thinking, if this is D&D, and I was looking at this as an 11-year-old, I would have been like, stick a fork in me. I'm done with this D&D thing because, 11, 12, 13, relationships sucked. I worked my tail off for my money because it was either lawn mowing in the summer heat or shoveling sidewalks in the bitter cold of a Plattsburgh, New York winter. I was awkward, so relationships sucked. A job could be tough. School was not a super big fan of school a lot of the time. So you play D&D to escape those things. And I think if I had been presented this as a 11, 12, 13-year-old, I would have been like, screw this stuff. Stick a fork in me. I'm out of here. Because I already got hazed when I got into high school. I got hazed for being a bit of a dork and being a bit of a bookworm and an egghead, being, too smart sometimes. The football players, my freshman year, threw me in a trash can. So, I figured out my sophomore year, all right, play sports so you can be one of the jocks. And, and I sucked at it, but, eventually earned enough respect that, the hazing passed on to other freshmen by that point. So, I think if I had like, hey, let's play Strixhaven, I don't think I would have been hazed. I think I would have had the crap beat out of me in high school for this. I just find this, wow. Number one, I think they missed the mark when they're like, being here at Strixhaven is not about being a wizard. I mean, you've missed the point. That was the whole point of Harry Potter, was Hagrid telling Harry, "You're a wizard, Harry." That was it. And they, it's like they completely missed it. And they're making a game out of exams and relationships and all those things that we kind of wanted to forget and have a fantasy escape when we were young kids learning to play D&D. Let's just review the first adventure here. Campus Kerfuffle. And this is actually your orientation to the campus. And so you're going to go on a scavenger hunt first day on campus. And so you have a scavenger hunt where you have to go to different locations. And part of that, I think one of the rewards during this scavenger hunt campus orientation thing is you might actually get a free Strixhaven cuddly mascot along the way. So, woohoo! It's a 100 gold piece magic item. Can I pawn it for 80? I could use the money. So you have this whole scavenger hunt, and all it is you just go to different places on the map and see something, talk to a person, and get a free magic item because apparently we have to give away magic items for free now. I don't understand that, but fantastic. Then you fight a mimic. It's a scaled down mimic for first level characters to handle. It's 30 hit points. So you fight it. You get the well done students from the faculty because they weren't on hand to handle it. And then you get into adventure 2. Spent some classes, some relationships, some exams. And there's like an event happening on campus. It's a toad race. Well, you end up fighting one of these giant toads, but you don't kill it because, killing little creatures is, I guess, bad. But you fight it till it's unconscious, and woohoo! You suddenly advance to level 2. So you fight a mimic, you fight a giant toad, and wave the magic wand. You're now level 2. I must be old because I don't get this. This was not D&D the way I remember it. I remember we slogged through dungeons and fought a bunch of kobolds, took their stuff, And then there was the debate about what are we going to do about the kobold women and children, which always brought in the whole alignment. How are we going to behave here? And and then we slogged through the goblin caves, and after a certain number of dungeons, we eventually, you got up to level 2, and that was big and exciting. It was not like just 2 creatures and you're level 2. So I don't even know if this is playable. It probably is. It probably is, and some people are going to say I like it. I think if you're old school, particularly if you started playing D&D with first edition or basic and expert, you're going to find this to be, just a whole lot of what? I don't recommend it. I got to give it a thumbs down. And I'm sure that there's going to be people out there who like it. I just, man, I remember college. I remember jobs. I remember relationships. I don't find this exciting. I can't criticize them because they promised us Harry Potter in a D&D adventure. It's just that it just feels like it's no longer D&D to me. It just feels like the D&D got lost in it. And you're just playing at high school, college, high school. The good wife who's on the other side of the room listening to this just interrupted me, and she says, because I was saying the D&D gets lost in it, she's like, it's not Harry Potter either. It misses the boat on Harry Potter, and I think it does. Cosmetically, it has, the houses, the Witherbloom and the different houses, Lorehaven, it has the houses that they had at Hogwarts, but it's very superficial. It's not the battle of good and evil. It's the morality. The morality. There was one quote in here where it said that helping people. There was that talked about just being helpful with magic makes you a good person. And I thought, there's the morality. There's the alignment system. You have to be a Boy Scout to be a good person. The Scout is helpful, courteous, kind. And so that makes you a good person. So it's their morality is the Boy Scout law. Where Scout, the Scout law, you can Google that. Scout is helpful, courteous, kind, all those things. And that's the morality of this. And so if you're not helpful and you're not courteous, you're not kind, you're a baddie. And I think baddies in Dungeons and Dragons are so much more. I like my baddies more like Tiamat or Vecna, for my baddies. Want them out and out evil, and they're evil because they're evil. Because without evil, good has no context. So I think this misses the mark as a product. The D&D gets lost. It really, I was going to say, yeah, all right, it delivered Harry Potter, but the good wife's correcting me saying that is not Harry Potter. She is an absolute massive Harry Potter fan. Like waiting in line at midnight to buy the book kind of Harry Potter fan. And so I'm going to have to give this one a pass. It's not why I play D&D. And I just don't find any of this interesting to play. So this is Tom from Tabletop Tap Room, and sadly, this plan for Valentine's Day is not working out for me. So I'm going to have to punt and find something else. But it's definitely not. It's definitely not Strixhaven.
It was the thought that counted.
The good wife says it's the thought that counted. I'm getting credit. So this is Tom from Tabletop Tap Room signing out. Keep on gaming, just not at Strixhaven.